Ninjas, today we are reviewing the Gibson Les Paul Tribute. This is the 2019 American-built version. As always, we've got the shred, the pros and cons and specifications, and then my personal reviews and conclusions on the guitar at the end. Now this one I've gone a bit lighter. I've gone for a bit more of a funky, country bluesy crossover. I'm not really sure what to call it. There's some sort of Latin influences at times. But yeah, for those that are my students that are checking this out, notice how different I approach this to the metal backing tracks. specifications time. So, the Gibson Les Paul, that battery's gonna die. Okay, new battery, perfect, right. So, the specifications of this guitar we have is Gibson Les Paul Tribute. This is the satin iced tea finish that was made in Nashville, United States. So this is the mahogany body with a maple top. Now, the maple top isn't flamed or quilted, which is what gives us all the crazy effects in the other videos I've done, but this is still a maple top for that same sound. We've got a maple neck as well, but this one's been stained to give it red, and the mahogany and maple almost blend into each other the way they've stained it, which is quite cool. It's a 24 3/4 scale length, and we have a rosewood 22 fret fretboard with the chunky inlays. And we've got the nut width of a 1.695. As you can see, we've got the Tune-o-matic bridge on this, and we've got the standard Gibson 490 T and R humbucker pickups. So it comes with a scratch plate. We've got 2 tone and volume controls, as standard on most Les Pauls. Okay, so specifications done. Let's look at the pros and cons. Well, the pro is if you like that satin finish, you want something that's not too glossy and shiny, then this is amazing. It doesn't show up your fingerprints, but it's still got that burst. Now, we're getting some light bounce off this because I'm playing around with a new 3 light setup, so we'll see how that goes. But it isn't as glossy as it might look in some lights in here, and like I say, it doesn't pick up your fingerprints as much as other guitars, which I like. The other pro is the Gibson 490s do sound really nice. They're great humbuckers, love the sound, really classic. I think if I set up my amp right, I'd end up getting a very classic Les Paul sound out of this. And unfortunately, I feel like that's it for the pros. We've got quite a few cons on this guitar, in my personal opinion. Con number 1, the tuning stability is pretty weak. I have played on worse, but not much worse. Its tuning stability hasn't been great. The intonation isn't right. Well, I know that's not the guitar's problem, it could be adjusted, but this is as it was shipped out. So I would expect that to have been set up at least a bit better before it came out. And then this last con, this is a big one. Now, I don't know if this is going to show on the video, but the fretboard, I can feel exactly where the neck ends and the fretboard starts, really clearly up this end. Not as bad here, but still, I can still feel it. I can feel the end of every single fret, and some of them pretty sharp. Yeah, in fact, some of them horribly sharp. Here I can see the wood. Again, I don't know if you're going to be able to catch that on camera. I'll try and get a better shot later. Some of this wood is just machined so badly. I have not played a single guitar with a neck and fretboard as bad as this. Well, let me rephrase that. I've not played a single new guitar with a neck and fretboard as bad as this. Obviously, there have been some guitars that have been old, beaten up, left in a garage, and the necks have warped and things, but as new condition guitars go, this is horrendous. So, biggest con for me is I've played a £120 guitar in my first video that had a better neck than this, and this retails at between £900 and £1,000, and they can't get the neck as good as a £120 guitar. It's horrific. I mean, Gibson's quality control, I know people said was getting bad, but I thought they had rectified things in the last couple of years. I thought it was good up until the 90s when they messed up, and then the last few years I thought they'd brought it back. But the fact they're willing to release a guitar for £1,000 in this, with this neck, I'm not buying Gibson. Personally, I'm not going there. I feel sorry. I've been given this by one of my students, and I think he loves it, and I've just ripped it to pieces. Again, I think if it had a new neck, which this is either glue on or neck through, so that's not going to happen, but if it had a new neck that was actually built well, the rest of the guitar is fine. The rest of the guitar is good. So it's on to the Rory rating. We've got a few things to make sure it takes off. First, can it ninja flip? Yeah. Number 2, does it shred? Yeah, it shreds. Number 3, is it pointy? No. No. And number 4, would I buy it? No. Not at that price. So that gives it a 2 out of 4. But I hope I haven't missed anything out that you really cared about. If I did, leave it in the comments below. And if you are still interested in buying one of these against my guidance, then there is a link to one of these below in the description as well. As always, when I do my guitar flippy spin, I've got it wired in using my wireless Line 6 Relay G10 that's now on the floor. So if you'd like one of those, again, there's a link in the description below, as with the Ninja t-shirts and all of that stuff. The backing track will be out in the next few days, so stick around for that and you can jam over it yourself. It's actually in D harmonic minor, although you can get away with the minor pentatonic and the minor in some places. There's just a couple of backing chords that will throw you out, so you probably want to work on that harmonic minor. As always, photo shoots of the guitars go up on Instagram, so please follow me there as Rory Shreds. The track itself will now be available on Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Amazon Music, all of them and more that I haven't listed. I even think the music ends up on TikTok as an option now and Instagram stories. So have a good play around with those if you wish. Backing track, like I say, will be up. All of the links to every single thing I've mentioned will be down below. And please comment what you liked, what you didn't. Just throw abuse at me if you want. The comments, it's just good to have things in there. Helps the algorithms and makes the video get out there. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe, hit the bell, all of that stuff, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!